Guess what's coming? I did a chat on this before called the Great Culling because I think that's what's coming next, the culling. Anyway, so let's go back in history. World War One. Duke Ferdinand got killed. That had nothing to do with anything, but there was so much pressure going on in the system in 1914, 15. There was so much pressure. That was just the thing that they decided to say, okay, that's enough to ignite everything. So what happened? A lot of people think of World War One as simply in Europe in the trenches, and that's especially in Western TV. Well, that's bullshit. It was the whole world, literally, because things were going on in China, and the Russian Empire fell apart. Communism came into place. That was a big deal. And the Germans were fighting them. And then in the Middle East, I don't know how many people know there were more troops, more British troops in the Middle East than there were in the trenches in France. What were they doing down there? Well, the Ottoman Empire was destroyed. The British did that. So they went and did that. And what did they end up with? Well, the Middle East. And they established, Israel. Son of a gun. Israel came out of it too. And who controlled it in the beginning? The British. That's why when the Jews from the Second World War went to Palestine to create, quote, the Jewish state, it was the British. Some people may or may not know this, but um, the Jews, or the people that were, I'm trying to think of the correct word. Anyway, the people that are trying to make Israel a state, they killed British soldiers and they blew up a hotel, and I can't remember the name of it, but they blew it up. And those are the people that eventually took over and created the state of Israel. And who sanctioned it? Well, who agreed to it in the UN? Well, that was Harry Truman and George Marshall, who was the uh, Secretary of State, former five-star um, general, who was really the hero, the military hero. It wasn't Eisenhower. It was George Marshall. Said, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. No, don't do it. Anyway, he did it. And ever since then, we've had the turmoil that we have right now. Started 1947. That's when it all started. That's when the Jews from Europe, who are not real Jews, because the Jews from Israel, uh, the Nazarenes, they were born there.